Every great story starts with a spark, a small moment that changes everything. For Jim, that spark came as a young boy when his grandfather handed him a simple gift, a San Diego Zoo guidebook. In 1972, Jim's journey officially began at the Sedgwick County Zoo. Hired as a night keeper, his job was simple, or so it seemed. Watching over chickens, goats, and cows, milking them at 2 a.m. and bottle feeding baby animals. Essentially, he was a glorified farmer. He was counting the days until he could work with more exotic animals. As the wildlife park expanded, so did Jim's responsibilities. When the herpetarium and African veldt were added, Jim became one of the first elephant keepers at SCZ. It was a step closer to his dream. Determined to grow, Jim started attending AZA conferences and bird association meetings, building a network of professional contacts. But he wanted more than just to be a keeper. He wanted to build something of his own. He started small, collecting rare pheasants and doves, birds that were beautiful and frankly easier to acquire than rhinos or okapis. In one bold move, Jim called the curator of the LA Zoo, hoping to secure 3 rare species of pheasants, the blood, Salvadori, and Imperial. Jim and the curator's conversation went a little something like this.
You're new to this, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Why do you ask?
Kid, I think you might have your sights a little high. There are only a few blood pheasants in human care, and they're in Europe. There are no Salvadori pheasants in managed care, and the Imperial pheasants are extinct.
But Jim didn't give up. After 5.5 years at SCZ, he took a bold leap, working in South America, caring for animals being imported to the U.S. 2 years later, at just 28, he set his sights even higher, importing birds from Africa. It was no easy task. Kenya was economically struggling and hadn't allowed bird exports in years. With no team, no partner, and no experience, Jim had to build everything from the ground up. Convincing ministers, recruiting older natives who remembered how to capture the birds, and navigating the intricate logistics of moving wildlife across continents. On his 3rd attempt, he did it. Jim successfully exported birds from Africa, a victory that caught the attention of major zoos across the country. As his reputation grew, Jim and his wife Sherri took another leap, purchasing a USDA quarantine facility in California. Business boomed, but at a price. Jim was gone nearly 300 days a year, while Sherri cared for their 1-year-old son Matt and 100,000 birds, all while running a bird store and commuting 100 miles each day. Then disaster, a series of unfortunate events left them bankrupt. With only $1,000 and a U-Haul full of plants, Jim and Sherri returned to Wichita, starting over from nothing. But they weren't done yet. In 1985, they bought 5 acres in Goddard and built a new barn, the humble beginning of what would become Tanganyika Wildlife Park. Jim kept importing birds, connecting zoos with surplus animals, and slowly building his own collection. By 1991, the park expanded, adding a tiger barn, home to Shubra and Benny, and a giraffe barn. Their collection grew to 150 animals across 56 acres. In 1995, Tanganyika bred its first endangered species, officially establishing itself as a world-class breeding facility. But something unexpected happened in 2000. What started as simple guided tours through their backyard sparked a new idea, an interactive experience. Guests fed giraffes and lemurs, and Jim realized something powerful. By creating a connection between people and animals, he could inspire a new generation to care about wildlife. In 2008, Tanganyika Wildlife Park officially opened, with 15 exhibits, 3 interactive areas, and a dream built from the ground up. Today, Tanganyika is more than a zoo. It's a story of resilience, passion, and a dream that refused to die. From a guidebook in a young boy's hands to a wildlife park connecting thousands of people to the wonders of the animal kingdom.